Hi everyone, welcome. So it's now, I think, time to begin. Thank you very much all for being here. We are really glad to have you and to be able to co-host this webinar with three top actors of the Atlassian marketplace. So DEISER, eazyBI, and Elements. We will begin shortly. Just first, I would like to remind you that during the presentation, all the attendees are going to be in mute mode, but you can ask all your questions directly in the chat room on the right side, and we will answer them at the end of the session during the 15-minute Q&A session. So don't hesitate to ask your question directly through this chat. All right, so well, let's go. And let's begin by introducing our topics today. So we will have a chance to have a 3-in-1 demo where you will learn various ways or how to boost your Jira instance with different use cases, like how to bring external data inside Jira, how to track projects also into Jira, or maybe how to create custom Jira reports. All that thanks to 3 top marketplace apps, Profields, eazyBI, and Elements Connect. And you will also see how these 3 apps can work together. So before that, I would just like to take a moment to introduce our speakers today. So I will begin with myself. So my name is Cécile. I'm product marketing manager at Elements, and I will present you how to get external data into Jira with Elements Connect. Then Flora, head of marketplace sales at DEISER, along with Federico on the customer support team, will give you some insight on Profields for Jira project tracking. And finally, we will have Martins, consultant for eazyBI, who will focus on this advanced reporting app. All right, so I will begin first by introducing the topics and show you how you can bring external data inside Jira with Elements Connect. So you may agree with me that data is really at the heart of every business, but often all this data is scattered across different tools such as Jira, Confluence, some databases, maybe a CRM. And often these tools are not so well integrated together, which can really divide the information and can lead to major issues like mistakes due to manual inputs, time loss, searching for information, and also data duplication. So we could have a solution here, which will be to get all your data inside Jira. And for that, the solution will be to connect all these different data sources, really to make Jira the information center and make information available in context to your Jira users. So that's where our app Elements Connect really comes into play. With Elements Connect, you can connect and create connected Jira custom fields and connect them to external data sources. You can use it with any kind of external data source, from REST APIs to remote files. Also, you can connect to an LDAP or an SQL database. And so with Elements Connect, you will be able, this app with Elements Connect, you can get data from different external data sources and directly populate custom fields inside Jira, Jira Software, but also Jira Service Desk. So today I'm going to walk you through 3 examples quickly on how you can use this Connect custom fields in your organization. We will see firstly how to get employees detail from an LDAP. We will also look up for product details from Best Buy. And also finally, we will see how we can integrate with another app named Profields to help delegate some Jira administration to project admins. So let's begin with the first use case. Here, the need is really to be able to get employees detail from an LDAP. And for that, I'm going to switch directly on a Jira instance for a quick demo. So as you may see here, I have two fields, one named user and the other one named details. So these two are connected to my LDAP. And I will just be able to select a user directly here in this first select list. I will choose Uber, and in the second field, all the information details about this user are going to be displayed from his position, his phone number, his email address also. I can choose any information I want. If it's available in the LDAP, I can display it here. This way to give all the information I want about my employees directly inside Jira and display it also the way I want. So for that, this kind of use case can be really useful for you. For example, if you want to know the user manager and you would like to set him at the approval of a ticket raised by the user. It can be used also for managing access requests, depending on any value stored in the LDAP. It can be like his office location or the user department. This way you can really manage access requests inside Jira. And finally, you can also give a lot more context to your Jira agent, especially on Jira Service Desk, by displaying information about the reporter of an issue. So these are some popular use cases you can be using connecting an LDAP to LDA to Jira, thanks to Elements Connect. I will go on now with the second example about the product details, how to look up for product details from a product catalog. So here we will use Best Buy, which is a famous American tech retailer similar to Amazon. And I will have a need here. My need is really to look for a computer into the Best Buy catalog. So for that, let's see, Best Buy made available in Jira Service Desk his catalog. And as you can see here on the Jira Service Desk request, I have a form already filled with 3 new fields, category, product, and also product details. So I will be able to refine my request, looking for the computer I want. In the category, I can select, I can begin to type computers, and the field will automatically give me only the category is fitting my request. And my second field, product, is updated to show me only the products available in this category. So I will choose the product, the computer I want. I will select a Chromebook from ASUS. And my last field will show me the different details of this product, from its price to its availability. So when I agree to order this computer, I can place my order by raising the request, and I will have a summary of all the different information, all these fields fetching data directly from the Best Buy REST API with Elements Connect. So to summarize on the needs here that we can fill this app, we can place an order to a supplier, just like I have done here. You can also provide access to your product catalog. It can be any other product catalog available, like with Best Buy, it was a REST API, for instance. And with that, you can also be able to give the price and the availability of your products directly in real time. And finally, another example could be if you want to create a code generator. This year you will connect to a catalog and be able to add several products to generate your code. So in these two examples, we have seen directly how you can provide external information inside Jira. And I will go on with the last example where we are going to go a step further here. In this example, we will see how you can integrate with third-party apps just like Profields, in order to build an IT service catalog directly inside Jira. But first, maybe I should begin by introducing what is Profields. So Profields, it's an app created by DEISER to really empower Jira project tracking and management. I won't go any further because you will have a more detailed presentation right after. But just for you to know, here we are using a key features, which is the ability to define custom fields for Jira project, and not only for individual issues, like it's the case for natively into Jira. So this way you will be able to delegate some Jira administration to the project admin. So we will begin by just specify the use case here to be clear. So we are in the context of a company which is using Jira Service Desk as its own internal IT help center. So we have the IT team on one side dealing with all the requests, all the IT requests, and we also have on the other side the dev team, developers, as the main internal customers of this IT help desk. So the goal here is really to simplify the IT teamwork and to provide developers with a list of all the available IT services when they make their request. And for that, we are going to use InSync, Profields, and Elements Connect. So how are we going to do that? Just a quick scheme to summarize. So the Jira Service Desk portal is managed by the IT team. And thanks to Profield on the left, the project manager can really configure himself a list of services available by creating project fields in the Profield administration. He will create various cascading lists to show all these different IT services. And then the App Elements Connect will get all this data by requesting the Profield REST API and present these fields exactly the same in the portal for both the agent and the developer. So let's see directly how. On Jira instance, will be the developer here, and I just need a new database. So I will go on my IT portal, and the form for that is already prepared with the fields showing me all the IT service available in my IT service catalog. I'll just have to select my needs. So I will just fill a summary request. I will request for a new Oracle database, and then my three fields below will help me choose my my type of Oracle database I need. In the first category, I have all the different IT service available and provided by my IT team. I will select database, and then the second field, I will choose the Oracle database, and to finally give me only the version available of Oracle database. So I just have to fill these three fields, and that's it. I was able to place my request quickly and easily. And also for the IT agent, it's really useful because it gets directly all the information needed to provide and to answer to the developer need. So I hope you had a quite good overview of what you can do with this app through these three examples. Just for you to know, so you can really go further in that and try it by yourself with other data sources. There is a large range of use cases possible, and you can directly connect to this link to access to our public demo portal. And of course, I will be happy to answer to all your questions right after. And for now, I will now give the floor to the DEISER teams to present you Profields in more details.
Perfect. Thank you very much, Cecile. So let me share my screen. Perfect. So hi, everyone. So I'm Flora. I'm from the DEISER team, and I'm the head of marketplace sales. So I'm also here with my colleague Fede, who will be answering your question at the end of the presentation during the Q&A session. So today I'm really excited to show you our app, so Profields, that has been recently selected by Atlassian as a staff pick in the marketplace. So today I'm going to show you how Profields can help you to track and manage your project in Jira. So as you must know, it is a fact that over the last 10 years, Jira became the most powerful issue tracker product of the market. So Jira is ideal for any team to get every relevant information in a unique place. But this added value is always and only from the issue level aspect, okay? So that's when we've started to wonder how to go further than this issue level and provide some answer from a higher perspective, okay? Where basically our user could track, classify, and categorize Jira project data. So basically Profil was made so you could finally be able to do some Jira project tracking and understand a bit better what's going on into your Jira instance. So let's focus now on how we pretend to give answer to project tracking. So first, you've got data. So data is a key focus when using Profields, thanks to the ability to create custom properties on your project, as Cecile mentioned during the presentation. Then you've got notifications. So the same way you would be aware of an issue change in Jira, you will be able to subscribe to any project that matters and be notified of any change. You've got also operations. So there is a feature called bulk operation that gives you the ability to do massive changes on your projects, so you can operate on them. Then we've created different views for you to display those projects. You are also able, thanks to Profil, to follow up on your projects as you are able to track information that matters to you, so you won't miss any relevant information. And last but not least, the reporting. So this task is maybe one of the most important when we talk about project tracking. So we'll show you during the demo how to get real-time reporting on your project thanks to Profields, but I'll also show you the integration with eazyBI that bring you deeper and better reporting. So let's have a look at the demo. So for this demo, let's pretend you're a project lead. And being a project lead, one of your tasks today is to identify how many Java projects you've got in your portfolio. So to do so, and I hope you will see my screen, we're going to open Jira and we're going to select the project list. Okay, so here you can see all your projects, and we're going to add some criteria such as programming language, and project status. So this is really important because here you can see custom properties that you have created thanks to Profields. Okay, so this is the base of Profields. So now we're going to ask Profield the information we are looking for. So let's select the programming language filter, and we're going to select Java. And then, because we only want to see your project, we're going to select you as a project lead, as a lead of your project. Perfect. So this is the list of your Java project. So you can save the filter. So the same way you can do it with issue, here you will do it with your project. So we're going to name it Java project. And perfect. So you will be able to look back at it in the future. So this was the first step. Just show you how to get more data and follow up on your project. So now let's pretend you want to receive notification on your project that have been changed from last week. So we will keep the same example and stick to the Java project. Perfect. And we're going to click on the icon to schedule a new subscription. So we're going to name it weekly subscription. And as you can see on the screen, you can pick a few options. So we're going to highlight only updated values from the last email. And we're going to say that we want to receive an email each Monday at 8 a.m. So really easy. Then you click on schedule and here it is. So you can see all your subscription also. So here we're gonna have only the one we've created. So now let's see how the notification looks like. Okay, so we're gonna go back to your project. We're gonna go back to Java project because you only want your project, and we're gonna do a massive operation. So we're gonna change the project status of those 70 selected projects. Perfect, so they are all in ready. We're gonna switch them to ongoing. Next, you can confirm that you're gonna select, change 17 project, and here it is. So now let's wait on next Monday at 8 a.m. And here is the email you will receive. So basically there is the list of updated project you've got. And on the right, you can see the updated value also. So Profields offer you different way of receiving notification. That was one of the way you can do it. There is also another option which is called the Watch project. I will show you it later. So I show you briefly in the notification part how to do massive changes on your project. Okay, so I really want to focus on this feature because it's maybe one of the best that we offer, and that really help our users to save time. So I just show you how to change a status. So now let me show you how to add a user as a developer on more than 100 of projects. So this time we're gonna go back as at your project as the project lead. Perfect. And we're gonna click again on the bulk operation. This time we're gonna click on role because we want to add a new developer, remember? So you click on add a new user, click on next, and you're gonna select. So in that case, we're gonna select Floragant as a new developer of your project. So as you can see, it's really easy to use. You can confirm that you're going to select all those 110 projects. And here it is. So if you decide to expand the list, you will see the list of updated projects. So I really want to focus on this feature. I really think this is a must for users. Instead of spending hours doing the change manually, you can do it in a few clicks and save a lot of time. So I just show you again what is the list view. So I will say that this is the home page of Profields, okay, where you can get access to all your projects in what we call the Jira Project Navigator. So you've got the issue navigator where we've created the project navigator. So this is a way of improving the way you can display your project, okay? So let's see how it looks like. So if you go in the project tab, you will see that there is the list or the releases view. So let's click on list again, even if you saw it already. So this is the list of projects, and here you can select the releases view. So this feature, which we've released it few months ago. So we're going to select your project again. But this feature is really important because it's the most recent one, and it's also really useful for any software team. So let's go back to our Java project, and here it is. So you can see the list of your project, and you can see a timeline of all your project version. Okay, so if you click on Profields backlog, here you can expand and see some releases. What is great also on this screen is if you put the mouse on the circle, you will see a pop-up information with data such as start date, release date, or a status also of your release. What is great also here is you can directly change the information on your release directly from the pop-up. So thanks to this view, as you just saw, we're answering to the question, what are the next releases of my project? But what is also great here is that you can share information and run releases outside from the product team, like marketing department, for example, who would need to get ready for any release communication, and they don't have to even ask to the product team. So Profields is also a good tool to break silos and improve the communication between the teams. So now it's time to focus on your project. So I want to show you what we've called the layout, which is basically a box of information around your project, okay, who help you to understand a bit better what's going on into your project. So let me click on any project, and this is the box I've just mentioned. So this is the layout where you configured all the information you want to see around your project. So you can see both native and Profield custom fields. You can also change the information directly from your screen. So there is few critical information around your project. There is also the history, which help you to understand a bit better of like what happened to your project, what are the updated value, who has made the change, when, etc., etc. So there is that provide you more insights around your project also. And the last feature here is the watch projects. So is the ability to follow up on the project and receive notification around it. So the last part and the last feature I wanted to show is the reporting. So we're going to stick here to the example of programming language. And let's pretend now we want to look for the information of how many projects per programming language do I've got in my Jira portfolio. So because we know dashboards are really important for Jira users, we've decided to optimize them, creating some gadgets. Okay, so let's have a look at the dashboard now, and we're gonna see. So all the gadgets you're gonna see here, there are Profields gadgets. You can check out documentation if you need to know more. But now we're gonna add a new gadget. I just want to show you how easy is it to do so. So let's pick a Profields gadget, and you can configure it. Right. So here you can choose the source data from any filter that you would have previously created. Okay. You can choose the field that matters. So again, here we are focusing on project information. So we're gonna go and look for programming language data, chart type, and you can save it. Awesome. So here you can see like a real-time breakdown of your programming language in your portfolio. So obviously here we've picked the programming language to stick to our example, but you can choose to display any information that can matters to you. So talking about reporting, I want to show you now the great integration we've got with eazyBI. So first, let's remind that reporting data from Profields are only from on a project level, okay? So that's why we've decided to integrate with eazyBI to get cross data from both project and issues. So to do so, let's click on the eazyBI tab. Oh, sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. Okay, perfect. So now I will go on the eazyBI tab, and here you can see the configuration screen, okay, where you can choose data sources directly from Jira, but you can also edit the data source and select more information. So here we're going to select in the add-on tab the Profield custom fields. So as you can see here, we've selected already some of the custom fields that we want to add in our report. So those custom fields will be either dimension, measure, properties. Those are obviously options offered by eazyBI to create your report. So once you've selected all the custom fields you want, you can go back and you can create a report. So if you check in the measure part, you will see all the options you've got, obviously, and you will see the custom properties from Profield you have selected, okay? So here we've mentioned that we want only the issues created. Okay, so we've selected programming language field as a dimension also. So perfect. And here you can see all the issues created by programming language. Then you can choose to get pie charts and choose any option that you want to add the data labels, for example, to add the name labels also. So I think here the most important is to remind, so you can save it, obviously. But again, here the most important stuff is to choose the right data to make sure you've got the right report. But again, this is really easy to get profit data for your eazyBI report. So now let's create a new one really briefly. I want to focus now on project, okay? Because we've seen earlier the issues created. So now we're gonna, in the measure part, we're gonna choose to see only profile custom fields, okay? So here you can clean a bit your data. So this is also, okay, so now you can choose also Gantt. So you can see a Gantt report of your data. Again, this was really quick, and this is based on the profile custom fields we've chosen. So you can name it Gantt report. And here it is. So I just show you two quick examples. Obviously, we've got more use cases. Do not hesitate to ask us if you want any support on this integration. But now I think it's time for me to let Martin explain you a bit more about eazyBI.
Thank you, Flora. I hope you can hear me, guys. So I will try to share my screen right away. Yeah, hello. So I'm Martin from eazyBI support team, and in the next couple of minutes, I would like to share a few use cases how you can use eazyBI for Jira and Confluence data. So first about eazyBI, we have 4 products in our product family. Most popular ones are plugins and applications for Jira. We call them eazyBI for Jira. Quite recently, we launched also eazyBI for Confluence. It has some additional metrics, so you can analyze Confluence page views and author activities. And we also have a standalone solution, private eazyBI and eazyBI Cloud for other integrations and subscriptions. eazyBI is a business intelligence tool for data analysis and visualization with a lot of integrations. Some of them you already heard during the first talks. We have very strong ones for Jira and in Confluence. I would like to emphasize that reporting is only the visible part. Creating these reports, it helps you make better decisions, and very often also it helps you improve processes. But don't forget about your gut feelings also. It's very often that you make decisions based on gut feelings, not so much based on data. All right. So this is the quick overview how eazyBI works. You have data in Jira, Jira applications, Confluence, or some other systems or files. First, you import those data in. What's happening? I'm sorry, I can't click on the wrong place. So first, you import those data systems in eazyBI, or you can do it on a regular basis or just once. Then you explore those data, play around, build reports, use those building blocks we have called measures and dimensions. When you come up with meaningful analysis reports, you can share them with your colleagues or partners or shareholders. You may publish them as in eazyBI, but most of our customers prefer getting reports in their used environment where they are working, like Jira dashboard gadgets or Confluence page gadgets, or even wallboards in a meeting room TVs or some web page iframes. There are a couple of things why eazyBI is being loved. First, you can create very many different custom reports and see your Jira data from very different angles. This is one thing. The next one is you can use many chart types and show this data in interactive way. Those would be really the interactive objects that can be automatically updated, and this can be built based on your data, so you can always see the most recent picture of your Jira activities. And last but not least, these are powerful calculations where you can add custom metrics and extend the Jira cube, the eazyBI cube from Jira with some additional calculations, with additional measurements. And of course, these are 4 ways how you can publish eazyBI reports with your team members. Either Jira dashboard gadgets or Confluence pages, email subscriptions if you prefer to receive reports as PDF attachments, or wallboards on the TV screens. So this was more like a theory, and let's see some of the use cases. This one is a very popular one, which shows the history of issues in statuses. So with using eazyBI, you can follow the trend. What's the number of issues in each of your Jira statuses over the time? And you can see that we could follow how the status open is being is developing over the time. So how many issues we have in open statuses in May on, and then in the April next year. So this is good representation of your issue workflow, and if you must find some bottlenecks in the process. The next one is more for development teams. There are some Jira sprint burn down and burn up reports, but there could be cases where you want to see this burn down report for massive epics which are developed in the same in several sprints, and then you need the custom reporting, which can be done also by eazyBI. You could also show velocity chart for sprints and display vertical bars for version releases. As you can see, those light green bars, those describe when is the version releases. If you use a service desk, you can also see the reports by SLAs, how many issues met response or resolution time in each periods, and how many breach them. We have a lot more demonstration reports, sample reports in our demonstration account. You can follow this link, which will be available when we share the presentations. You can go to our demonstration account from there, or from our documentation page, and follow these sample reports and be inspired with many different ways how you can use eazyBI. And since I mentioned that we also have eazyBI for Confluence, this is our newborn babies from November. So you can use with this product, you may analyze page views, how many pages are viewed, and how many times and when. This example with the heat map represents when people like to or have time to read the documentation. It seems that eazyBI documentation turns out those are the Wednesdays when's the most occupied time. So you may build similar view analysis for specific space or pages as well. Of course, you can have Google Analytics, which provides a different type, but this would be the same methodology, the same metrics, the same building blocks. If you are used to eazyBI for Jira, you can also use it for Confluence pages. You can also create report, like in this example, where you can follow page updates, pages by their updated date, and find those pages that are not updated for a while, and in the same table see the page views, then filtered by some page filters, like in this example, last 30 days. And this would be showing how many page views you have for your Confluence pages in last 30 days. And also Confluence page activity can be followed. This one is weekly report, which describes what are author habits, when author feel most creative, is it mornings or evenings. We can see that in our case, short before new versions, there are many pages in our documentation page updated, so we know that we focus a lot before we launch a new product or new version, and then the activity is increasing in those moments. So if you want to learn more about eazyBI, you can follow these pages. And now I would like to show the quick integration between eazyBI and Elements Connect, because we also have an integration with Elements. So hopefully you can follow the video. We have a database. Oh, it's yeah, it has some values, and then we want to use these values in Elements Connect data source. We have defined a database data source and tested the connection, and then we can create a new field using this data source that is defined in our Elements Connect administration. When the field is connected, we can verify that it has the same data source which connects to this database. We can define the number of columns, the template. We can also run the test to see what are the values that are being exported from the database. And then we can add this field on Jira issues in Jira. As you can see, these are the same values that comes from the database. And then next, as you already saw in one of the previous presentations, you can go to source data, click edit to edit the import options, and under add-ons you can see that we have integration with Elements Connect, and this is the field that is created for my Jira issues. So there we can make sure that this field is imported, and once it is imported, we can see that this dimension can be available under Elements Connect section, and we can put this dimension in rows and use it for reporting. So now I have some issues with only a couple of these values. I can start building my report using the project dimension in pages, maybe also the time dimension if I like to analyze the report by time. I can drill into the time to see the results by years, and then I can switch to the chart, show this as a vertical bar chart, hide some empty values, and also add some data labels to show that this is a nice chart where I can follow my issues created by years and also split by the seasons, which is a custom field that came from Elements Connect integration. So this is a integration, and now I want to encourage you to ask questions. Some of them already are answered in the chat, in the questions area for this tool. I will try to find the question. Yep. So the first question I can find was, I think, about the Elements Connect. It was question addressed to Cecile. Is Elements Connect available in a cloud? If you could please mute on and then help us understand how to answer this question, Cecile.
Yeah, sure, Martins. Thanks. So is it Elements Connect available for cloud? The answer is not yet. It will be soon. For now, you can only use it on server and data center, but we are working on a beta version, which should be released soon in the next weeks. We hope for it. And so we created a beta program. If you want to subscribe it, I think I answered this question in the chat, but with a link, there is a link to a form just to fill and to be informed about the release date and what is it going to be about. The first beta version is going to be focused on getting data from a PostgreSQL database to populate it and populate Jira Service Desk. So it's linking Jira Service Desk with a PostgreSQL database. And then we will iterate on that and add more data sources. Yeah, so it will be soon available for cloud too.
Okay, thanks. The next question is about LDAP connection. there's a question, can this data also be presented in a Confluence? And can the users be filtered by some data? I believe this is question again for Cecile.
Yeah, all right. So about Confluence, I think no, the Elements Connect is focused on getting data inside Jira, not Confluence. However, I don't really know the use case behind that, but if you're using Jira with Confluence too, you can always, if you, depending on the use case, of course, but you can always get your LDAP data inside Jira and then using the Jira Confluence connection, let's say, to display the data you want inside Confluence. I don't know if I really answered the question. It can really depend on how you're using these tools.
Yeah, I think you answered the question quite well.
In case you can contact me if you need more detail.
Yeah, what I wanted to say that we will try to spend the rest of the 10 minutes to answer most of the questions we can. And in case some of the questions will not be answered, we will try to answer them after the session over the email. So don't worry if your question has no answer during this webinar. So the next question I was able to find is what is the difference between element and Profield? I think that was asked during the Flora's presentation.
Hello, I'm Fede Baronti. I'm from DEISER, and I'm the customer support specialist here at DEISER. And thank you very much, Marty, for that question. I saw it before, and the main difference between Profields and Element Connect is that Profields is made in order for you to have project level properties, in order for your company to be able to have a project level properties in your Jira. And Element Connect is based on issue level properties. Am I correct, Cecile? Am I
yes,
right?
you are, Fede.
Okay.
Yeah, I just had something is that yeah, with Elements Connect is really more focused on requesting over data sources and to put that inside Jira. And with Profields, you're making everything also already inside Jira. So the final goal is the same. That's why they're working well together. But on one side, Profields will, so as you said, work more on the project, Jira project aspect inside Jira.
Exactly. Level, exactly. Thank you very much for helping me out there.
Thank you too.
Go ahead, Martin.
The next question I can hear in the list is if we can advise why Profield imported to eazyBI and then some of the fields don't have import as dimension but only as a property. I believe, but it's already answered, sorry, but there could be different type of fields, and eazyBI is capable of detecting most of them, but some fields are not meant for dimensions. That's the short answer. So, but it's already answered in questions and answers section, so my bad. So next question is not answered is the connection between Elements Connect and eazyBI a separate plugin? I believe this is answered. This is a question for me from eazyBI team, and this is a part of the product. When you have eazyBI, it comes with all these integrations. So whenever you have eazyBI and you use also Elements Connect, you would see the Elements Connect section in your import options page, and you can select Elements Connect fields and import them in eazyBI, and it does not require a separate plugin. So the next question is, if I have a custom field product version, can eazyBI recognize what product to put them under if I want to count issues per product for each version? Whenever you import a custom field as a dimension, you can use this custom field to split results, whether this is issues, either this is issues resolved or issues created. It would automatically accumulate and see the counter if you would use some distinct measures like issues created or issues created count? Yeah, I suppose that this is the answer to this question. The next question I see is there an impact on Jira performance when using eazyBI? This is a very good question. The more complicated reports will be created, the more it can affect Jira performance, but there are some ways to run eazyBI on the cloud process. So all these complicated queries are run on a separate memory dedicated for eazyBI, and it will not disturb your Jira main process. However, when you do the regular imports, because eazyBI is not an online tool, you need to pull the data from Jira. During those import sessions, we are making requests to Jira. So at that time, Jira can be a little bit impacted, but not significantly. I see next question about elements. So probably this is to Cecile. The question sounds, does elements have any connector to SAP ERP system? Cecile, can you comment on that?
Yeah, sorry, I was just unmuting. Well, that's a good question. I'm not sure I can confirm that. I would say yes, but I should try. Is if SAP is providing a REST API, there should be no problem in connecting to it. I will just confirm that, and I can get back to the person who asked this question. But I think there should be no problem to be able to connect to SAP.
All right. The next question I see sounds like this. The Elements Connect is showing live data from source, or it will download data and show data from download time. On issues, the data from custom field is changing as the data in the database, or is it the same like from the time when it has been created? I think the question is if that information we see is dynamic. Can you comment on that, Cecile?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I think I understand that too. Well, actually, you have a choice. There are two types of fields you can create with Elements Connect. They are like live fields and snapshot fields. So a live field, it's like at the beginning of the question, I think. The live field will show you data always up to date. It will not store the data inside Jira. Everything will be stored and left on the external data source, and Elements Connect will only display it like on real time. However, a snapshot field, if you have this kind of needs, it will just get the data just once when you will create the issue inside Jira. And so this way you will have the data only once. It will be like a snapshot, like as the name is saying. I hope I answered all the question.
I believe you did. All right. The next question that somebody is already interested in beta version for cloud. I believe that this is about Elements Connect again. Is there any chance they could get some link to beta version for cloud? How could you comment on that?
Yeah, sure. I think we will be sending an email right after the webinar with the recording, and I can add also the link to the beta version. This way everybody could have it. So I will add it in the mailing you will receive after.
Okay. The next question is to Profields. Is there a strict number of attributes projects have, like programming language status, or can I create as many attributes as I need?
Well, you can create as many attributes as you need. We have tested many different instances with many attributes in order to see the performance. If it's really important to take notice on the performance of the instance, and it also depends on how fast your server is, your data center. But we have tested with many a really high number of attributes in those projects, and you can do. We don't have a limit, so you can create as many as you need with Profields. Hope I answered your question.
Yep, I believe you answered. The next question is about reference guide or site with sample models and graphics by Fabio. I'm not sure who this question is addressed to. The sample models and graphics.
It's for eazyBI.
Oh, yeah. Then I guess the answer is that we have a demonstration account, which is available from our documentation page, docs.eazybi.com. You can go from there and find all these several report examples, and you can actually copy our report examples from there in an easy way, and then reuse them on your account. The next question actually is about, again, if you have access to SAP database, will you be able to get data from SAP? I think that was partly already answered about when Cecile commented on REST API, wasn't that?
Yeah, can you just repeat the question?
Yeah, the question is, if you have access to SAP database, you will be able to get data from SAP. There is also a SAP JDBC driver that you can use as a data source in Connect.
Yeah, let's see. Just to confirm about the last question, that it's possible. I can assure you now that it's possible to connect to SAP using the JDBC driver. So yeah, it's linked to the previous question.
Yeah, guys, I think we need to wrap up this webinar, and the questions that was not answered, we will try to answer them over the email. I want to say thank you for joining on behalf of all the organizers. So I see that more than 100 attendees are still here. So thank you all that you found time to join this webinar and listen to all the three presentations we wanted to share with you. So I guess we need to say thanks and bye for all the attendees.
Yeah, thank you very much to all of you, and stay safe. Bye.
Yeah, stay safe.
Thank you all. Thanks to all speakers also.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.